So we are cooking a boiled egg this time. We have got our saucepan, which we've put nice hot water in from our hot water urn. And the first thing we have to do is bring the water to the boil. So we're going to pop our hob on. We've got a gas hob. And is it on a, what sort of heat this time?
High.
So we want it on a high heat because we want it to boil nice and quickly.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We are. So depending on your hob, you might need to hold onto the gas for a little bit. If you've got an electric hob, you won't need to, but it might take a little bit longer to come to the boil. And if you pop the lid on your pan, if you have a pan with a lid, it will come to the boil more quickly because you're keeping all of that steam inside and keeping it hotter there. So just while we get our pan to the boil, we're going to bring our egg over. So if I was wanting a nice soft boiled egg I could dunk my soldiers into, how long would I need to cook it for?
When the water is boiled, at least 3 minutes.
And if it was a hard boiled egg I could peel and cut. What would you say? So we said 3 minutes for soft and 5 minutes for hard boiled. Does anything happen to the egg in the water, or does it just float around?
It just floats around. You just need to time yourself.
Okay, so you have to make sure you're timing it. So that could be with an app on your phone, it could be with a kitchen timer, or it could be with something like an Alexa device where you can say set a timer for 3 minutes. It's up to you how you do it, but boiling eggs are all down to how you want it and precise timings, and the more you cook them, the easier they are because you learn from your not brilliant outcomes. So as I said, we cheated. Our water is already up to the boil.
So now you're gonna put.
And we're just going to gently. So the water's very, very vigorously
the water
boiling.
Is hot. Normally I would just take the egg, drop it in there, but I'm gonna use a spoon.
So here's Aisha's tip. If you're worried about the water being hot and you touching the water, use a spoon to gently place the egg into the water rather than worrying too much about your fingers touching the water. This gives you a little bit more control.
Yeah, so I'm going to do 2 eggs.
Oh, we're going to have a soft boiled and a hard boiled egg, are we?
Yeah.
There we are, first egg just gently laid in. Aisha laid the edge of the spoon against the pan so she had more control. And once you've done that, just pop the lid back on and wait for 2 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. 3 minutes for soft and 5 minutes for hard boiled. Okay, so we paused the video and we're just going to take out one of our eggs because it's a soft boiled one. So what do we need to do for that? So we take the lid off and put it somewhere nicely where we can find it later. Remember the lid will be hot because it's been on top of the hot water. And we're going to use a spoon just to gently lift the egg out. And we're just going to pop it into our egg box. Okie dokie. And we're going to pop the lid back on because we're still cooking the other one. And then Aisha's going to open the soft boiled egg for us so we can see how nice and softly boiled it is.
So what I do at this point, I get a bowl, then put the egg in there because I need to run it under because it's hot, so you need cold water.
So Aisha's just running under cold water. So we're just running it under some cold water just to cool down the outside, but not too much so that the inside stays hot. There we are.
That's it. At least you'll be able to handle the egg.
Yeah, so you can handle the egg. Pour your water out.
Okay, I'm just gonna...
So we're using the back of a spoon just to break the eggshell. And then peel off the top. And I can see it's a lovely soft egg. If we were to cut into it, the yolk would ooze. Perfect for popping toast into. So if you wanted it to dunk your soldiers, you wouldn't peel the whole egg, you'd just take the top off. So it had a bit more rigidity.
So now I'm just going to cut into them, put them on the plate.
So I'm just going to zoom in.
Using a knife.
So that we can see more detail. There we are. I've zoomed in, I should over there, it's fine.
See?
And we're just cutting the egg, and it just lovely and soft. The yolk has flowed over the plate, but the white is all nice and firm and would held its shape wonderfully. Okay. Okay, so that is ready to take our hard-boiled egg out. So we're going to do the same thing. Actually, I think we're going to turn the gas off first because we're done now. If you had only done a soft-boiled egg, you turn your gas off before taking your egg out previously. So take the lid off, again put it down somewhere where you're going to know where it is because it's very hot. We have glass lids, so they cool down quite quickly. Metal lids cool down a little bit slower. We're going to pop the egg in a bowl. And we're going to go over to the sink. And we're going to run the egg under cold water. Just long enough to make sure that we can touch the outside without burning our fingers, because we want the inside to be warm, but we want the outside to be nice and soft, nice and cool, so we can touch it. Pour the water away, and then go back to where you need to go. So you take a sharp object, again, can be the back of a knife, can be the handle of a spoon, and just gently tap the egg to break the shell up, because you're going to peel the shell off of the egg nice and gently using your thumb, not your thumbnail, because you don't want to break into the egg. It should come off quite easily once you've put those cracks into it. And this egg you have to be a lot less delicate with when you're peeling, because it's a hard-boiled egg. And Isa's just going to get a knife, and I'm going to zoom in again. I'll tell her when it's all ready. It's all ready. And we're just going to cut this one in half. And this one, it's still a little bit soft in the middle, but it didn't ooze out over the plate. If you wanted it to be completely firm in the middle, you'd cook it for another minute or two. It depends how hard you want your hard-boiled egg to be cooked. So, and then you eat it however you'd like to eat it.